I always knew I wanted to be an attorney. I just like helping people.
Are you okay? Do you need any help? Thanks, Christopher.
I've been in Vegas helping the little guy since I was a little guy. Are we any good at helping you win? No, we're great. Call us now for help with your injury case.
Videos where you have an officer basically around the neck area.
These two retired Vegas cops now podcast hosts.
You know, they don't have ID, they can't get into a hotel room. To get them the help they need, especially if someone even gets arrested. A lot of people don't know how the justice system works.
You guys have going on is necessary, it's needed.
Hey, this is David Kohlmeyer. Welcome to The Problem Solver. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m., Channel 14, we're here, and we're talking about problems, how we can solve them, especially in the community of Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson, trying to help people in general every single week. Today, as usual, my co-host, Danny Miner.
Thank you, Dave, for having me. Let's go.
Then we have Beja Rivera, co-host again.
Thank you, Dave, for having me. Let's talk about it.
I have two amazing co-hosts that both have amazing experience, and I'm always wanting them to share their opinions, whether it's a mom, whether it's a father, whether it's police background that you have.
I'm a grandfather, too.
Grandfather, there we go. So we all have different experiences, so the goal is for us to share and ask questions and basically get information out and also try to solve problems. And today we're going to be talking about homelessness, basically people that don't have homes, that are in tunnels or not in tunnels, how we can help these people. Today we have two great people here. We have Robert Banghart, which is with Shine a Light, the outreach director. Robert, thanks so much for joining us today. And then we have George Petty, who's the lead program case manager for Shine a Light. Again, George, thanks so much for joining both of you guys.
Yes,
for
thank
having
you
us.
for being here.
Thank you.
So real quickly, why don't you tell a lot of the viewers, this is Straight TV. Normally we have the podcast, which is people listen on Spotify, and also on YouTube and Facebook, which is Thursday at 4:30 when we go live. But today we're on TV here. And tell us a little bit about Shine a Light program, and just give us, really kind of explain, because people just, when you hear Shine a Light, what does that mean? What kind of program?
I already feel like it's deep. It just it's such a great name. Like it speaks to me. It's some deep. So tell us about it, please.
So Shine a Light is a homeless outreach program that focuses mainly on the tunnels and washes of the city. There's over 600 miles, so we try to cover as much ground each week, and we offer a true and honest way out. We're not just handing out supplies. We're building relationships and offering a true, honest way out. Both George and I came out through the same program.
Well, honestly, I've been here for 4 years. I just recently discovered the tunnels, just even the information was given to me. I don't even know where to go. But for our viewers, of course, what is the tunnels? What do you call it?
Whenever somebody asks me that question, I ask them to think about this. If you're living locally, you've got 15, 215, 95. At every single off-ramp, you've got somebody asking for money. Where do they live?
Yes, but this is underground, though.
Correct.
So I guess I wanted to ask you to get a little bit more into detail about that.
So, legitimately, any area of town. There's no
There's just this underground
everywhere.
living system.
Everywhere. That's why I use the highway reference, because it covers the entire city. all the way to Centennial Hills, all the way down to the M Casino.
If I remember correctly, it was 600 miles.
600 miles.
Wow.
And growing,
Wow.
growing every day.
How many people do you think are actually in Vegas right now living underground?
The estimates are 1,500 to 2,000, but it kind of varies a little bit. You know what I mean? Some of it's transient.
Do
Right.
you have any like success stories? I mean, people that you've helped that didn't have to be there underground anymore and have changed their lives.
I think
That
George and I
that
are
saw
both.
the light.
Yeah, I think George and I are both success
Yes.
stories. But I'll
Wow.
let George tell his story a little bit.
Wow.
So yeah, I reached out to Rob, which was the outreach director at the time, and still is, and I was in a bed that night, right away, instant placement. He had me in a bed at Freedom House Sober Living, and I started my journey of recovery there. I had a full-time job before. I had a wife. I had a son, and I got disconnected for that due to my addiction from drugs and alcohol, and it. Like anything else, my disease got progressive and my homelessness got progressive. I didn't go straight to the tunnels. I was homeless on the streets, and I eventually ended up there.
How long were you on the streets?
About 3 years.
Was it very hard? Here's a question for you. When Shine a Light goes out, I know when they're through the tunnels, they're saying shine a light, or hello, we're coming through, we're volunteers. And I think it's great that you guys do that because
How do you guys react? Like, how did you react when you saw that?
I would go the other
Or
way.
you seen people like trying to help you, or
I would go the other way.
yeah?
I would go the other way.
What's the reason why?
Guilt, shame, just disconnect from society.
how many times did you say that you heard Shine a Light before you actually accepted some item or just accepted their conversation?
I ran into Shine a Light a few times. I don't know the exact number,
Okay.
but there would be other organizations that would go down as well. And when I got a hold of Rob's number and I gave him a call, I remember these words very vividly. He said, "I'm just asking so I can help." And when he said that to me, I'm like, okay, this guy means business. What do I need to do? And I was down there, and we joke about it today. Like, we say he still case manages me today, at over 2.5 years ago. And he's a part of my life. He knows my wife. He knows my son. I'm involved in his life. We're about to go to dinner after this. So it's this whole thing. Like, that's what we kind of do. We create a culture of like when we pull them out, the first initial step if they need detox, and then we go from there into treatment,
It's
into
like
housing.
you make a pact, like you make.
Well, you become
promise
family.
About,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
you become family. And one of the things, real quick, that I just want to say is that, especially you guys being men, what is it called, the stigma or whatever. I mean, actually, Danny just posted about it in his TikTok.
Yeah.
You guys are supposed to man up.
Yeah.
Be tough. Be this.
Right.
Be protectors. Be providers. And your emotions and your feelings and all that gets like suppressed, and it's like if you express yourself that way, you seem weak.
Yeah.
And it's not like that. And I'm just glad that you guys found each other and that you guys could really like communicate and relate and move forward and help each other. So I just think this is great.
I think it's no different than anything else, right?
Yeah.
You guys probably bonded over the fact that you were
A lot of-
police
a lot of-
officers
Yeah.
at some point, right? Like you all find common ground.
Yep.
And I think what's important about George's story is that by the time he actually got a hold of me, there was another guy. There was a chain of things happening. It wasn't just him calling me directly, right? That was the final thing in the equation. His wife reached out to a friend of ours who had also gotten out. You know what I mean? Like this whole network of what we're doing,
Right.
and we're able to pull him in.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
what we're going to do is we're going to come back from a quick commercial break, and then I want to talk about homeless in general, how in Las Vegas, how we can solve the problem, since it is kind of an epidemic all over, I think, the U.S. these days, how we can really solve it in Vegas, and what everybody, every listener and watcher that's watching the show, what we could all personally do. So we'll be back in a quick minute. Hey, it's David Colmeyer with the Problem Solver. We're back here talking about Shine a Light, a nonprofit that's helping people inside the tunnels and outside the tunnels as well. We were just talking about what Shine a Light does, and I wanted to talk about just people homeless in general in Las Vegas. It seems like it's getting worse. There's a lot of people in different corners as well, and I always feel bad in general. Tell us a little bit what your thoughts are in regards to people being homeless right now compared to what it was. How many years ago were you living on the streets?
It'll be 4 years, August 10th.
So 4 years is a short period of time, but I guess within 4 years, do you think it's worse or do you think it's better?
The amount of people, like I said, I don't feel like it's that drastic. I mean,
Okay.
I think like anything, it grows slowly over time. The population grows, so that
Right.
the numbers will always match the growth of the population.
So I noticed downtown, that one corridor, what is it? What's the main corridor where a lot of them hang out?
The Hope Corridor.
What is it called? Hope Corridor?
Yeah.
And that okay, so tell us a little bit about that. A lot of people are congregating, it's Las Vegas Boulevard and what?
It's
Like Washington?
It's Las Vegas Boulevard and Four Master, and what's the other one? That's Four Master with the Care Project and all that Care Complex.
So what is going on down there? Because people pass by, I don't think people really know because there's a lot of support services. That's why people are congregating and sleeping
Correct.
there.
What you have mainly down there is what is affectionately adorned the homeless triangle. It's because it's all three homeless shelters are relatively within walking distance, and you can get breakfast at Catholic Charities, lunch at Salvation Army, and then go over to dinner at the rescue mission. And all the services are essentially in that area, like the basic Clarity card, clothing, stuff like that.
I'm so sorry you went through that, and I'm just really glad that you're somebody that can. You made it out. You know what I mean?
You're
So
helping others now.
with Shine a Light, what are you doing differently? Being that you were in that situation, and the things that you could see that you could change or do differently or help in a better way. What are you doing now?
I think that we just focus on, like I said earlier, basic kindness. Like we're just trying to build the relationships. We believe in this because we came out through it, right? And when I first came out through it, it was kind of a little bit looser and we were still developing, and now we have more of a concrete idea of what it is that we want to do. We all now work in treatment. We all have those connective pieces along the way so they're not going to get dropped. And Shine a Light as a program case manages within these facilities and helps them. So if you're staying at a crossroads and you need an ID and your insurance doesn't cover it, we step in and pay for it. George will meet with them once a week, you know what I mean? For jobs and different things along the way, just check-ins and getting them connected in their recovery, whatever direction they want to go with that. And
Just resources. Yeah.
we build up a tribe of people. And our director says the same thing about me, that he still case manages me, and I'm coming up on 4 years.
So what are the things that we, in regards to, that area, the corridor, is it definitely the police being involved is not a good situation. The uniform, people get intimidated, even if they're community policing officers, right? They see it as a threat. Would you agree? Do you see police being a good situation going in, or more of a mental health worker that's dressed in regular plain clothes?
I think it's slowly changing. I think what we always seem to forget is that, like, police officers have this massive amount of responsibilities and jobs that they didn't sign up for. Like, let's just be fair, right?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't sign up to be a mental health worker. They didn't sign up to be a social worker. They didn't sign up, like, all these things that, like, you didn't go through the academy 20 years ago and have to
Except
hear
for
about.
David, because when he was in the East Coast, this is the whole reason why they call him the problem solver. Because he
think-
would actually take the time and be like, okay, what's the problem? Let's talk about it. Let's
Right,
solve
but you
it.
didn't sign up for, like, a lot of the things that you come
I
across. You know what I mean?
understand, yeah.
The classic definition of what I believe a police officer was when I was growing up is very different than what it is now, and I think we forget that, right? We forget the amount of stress and pressure and all the different things going on that they have to handle. So I feel like they're getting better training, right? There's more involvement in how to kind
Deal
of
with it.
yeah, and they're getting some assistance, never at the right pace, of course, but
Right.
like they're getting some. We're short on shelter beds, so if I've got 15,000 homeless people in 3,000 to 5,000 beds, that means it's a guaranteed 10,000 people on the streets every night.
Wow.
So even if they asked for help, they couldn't get it, right? And then the multitude of different reasons why they're out there, right? If it's mental health is a massive, area where
Statistically, is
different-
it number one?
I don't know about statistics with that. I know it's addiction, it's bad luck, it's poor choices, it's many different things. But
Right.
just dealing with mental health is a massive undertaking,
Agree.
and the amount of resources that are available for that is minimal.
Listen, I just want to tell you, I was telling you before the show, my daughter just got her master's degree. She's now a therapist from UNLV. and they took her down with you guys. And she said it changed her life going down in them tunnels. So to me, you guys are heroes. You know, we sit here and we talk about sports figures. Oh, he's a hero because he threw a touchdown pass. It's such a joke to me, okay? Because they're not heroes. You guys are the heroes. Believe me when I tell you.
Thank you.
You're the example.
Yes.
You're the light, really.
You
for
are the
other
light.
people.
That you are shining the light. You're showing them where to go. I love the saying.
Can we
shine the light.
collab? I want to do like a tunnel vision one where it's like, boom, we
Yep.
collab together and we just make it happen. I'm so sorry. We just make things happen for people that have lost hope.
So the goal for us at the Problem Solving Show, there's a few things that we want to do to help out. One is that people that have warrants, myself and Danny, since we kind of specialize in that field, that we will help out, that if people have warrants or tickets, that we will get with certain attorneys that we deal with. Las Vegas Legal Network happens to be a sponsor of the show, and that we would get with some criminal defense attorneys that want to help out to get people out of warrants. They call it a motion to quash a warrant. If there's traffic, the goal is for them to get jobs and employment. The second thing is if there's any type of medical issues with any doctors and they have Medicare, Beja specializes in the medical field where we basically can get medical attention. So if you have different referrals, we'll use Beja to help out from there.
Just don't think that you don't like have rights just because you're at a low spot in your life. Like, it doesn't matter. You have rights. There are resources for you. So yes, go ahead.
So anyway, so we'll take care of, so the criminal justice side, we're going to help out. We'll help out with medical stuff like that. And then in regards to, we have the Problem Solver Vegas. We have an app where basically people can GPS locations in regards to if they see homeless camps in their area and so on. And then they can click on it. We'll do a news release. It gets sent to you guys, and you guys can decide whether to go out or send it to somebody else. But it's instant when someone basically, does a GPS location. So those are the three things that we're going to work on in general. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how we and people in the community can support Shine a Light. So we'll be back in a quick minute.
Injured? Call 602-HURT. Car accident? Call 602-HURT. Pacific West Injury Law, a firm that focuses on you. Our firm is dedicated to you and your recovery. No fee until we win. Millions recovered. Here when you need us.
Hey, this is David Colmeyer again, the Problem Solver. Thanks for coming back. Today we're talking about Shine a Light, people that are homeless, what we can do to help people. Tell us, how do we support Shine a Light program?
There's a couple different ways. We have an Amazon wish list where you can actually click on and donate items that will come directly to us that we hand out each weekend. And then we also have a link for monetary donations where you can sign up to become a monthly donor. You got to remember that we have 75, I think we said 75 clients actually actively in the community that we're paying for their sober livings and their housing and IDs and births. So every dollar goes to helping them, and every item donated goes directly to those we serve.
What are the three main things when you walk down into the tunnels that you're giving out? What are the top three things that people really want, that need?
I'd say in the tunnels it'd be flashlights, batteries, and
Socks.
Socks are a big one.
Socks?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because it gets kind of wet down there.
So one of the things that we're going to show on this screen as we're talking about this is that you can go on to Amazon, like a wish list. When some people don't really know about that stuff, and I was kind of new to it as well when you guys brought it up to me. I did actually make a specific website domain that's available now to help you guys, because I want to tell people like, hey, go to this website. So what I set up was supportshinealight.com, which is real simple. And it takes you to the wish list that you guys are talking about from Amazon. And I'd like to promote it here at the Problem Solver Show. And people can go online, as we see on the screen. There's different things that you can purchase. So if the big items like socks and batteries, there's food, non-perishables. You can click a bunch of things, and then these items from Amazon will go directly to you guys. And then every single Saturday, right, you guys go out and drop these things off, right? To different
Correct.
people.
Yep.
Explain how that goes through for people that are going to press some buttons down on Amazon. You get all these different items. Tell us how that works when you're walking through the tunnels. How does that work?
Well, essentially, it's like the key to the door. It's the key to the door to the conversation, right? If I walk up on somebody and I've got a bag with the socks, some water, a granola bar, I'm handing them a cigarette, they're a little bit more receptive, right? Like, they see why I'm there, you know what I mean? And then I can start the conversation and start to build a relationship.
And then let's say I want to give $100 a month. How do I do that?
You can go to our website at shinelightlv.com, and there is a donation thing to do.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to showcase that. So they go to ShineAlightLV for LasVegas.com, and there's a place for donation, and you could do what, monthly?
Yes, sir.
Like a monthly reoccurring payment that would go for the nonprofit. And you guys are considered 501c3?
Yep.
Okay, so it's it's a tax write-off as well. So if there's businesses or law firms or medical people that want to get involved in this, it's a tax write-off, which is great for the business, and you're also helping out as well. So people can donate monthly, one sum. The average person can go on and buy a $10 item from Amazon, which again is support ShineAlight.com, and they can pick a few different items. One of the things that we mentioned from the problem solver, we want to donate $500 to basically, we're going to donate different items. One day we'll sit together and we'll just pick some different items so we can get the feeling of how it is.
And I just feel like, don't even think you just have to go to Amazon. I mean, is there like a donation spot that people can take, like their personal, whatever?
Yeah, we have an
to
office.
help, canned foods, like you said, perishable foods.
But you don't really, do you guys need that like you don't really want like used clothing, right? You don't want, right? You want newer items to give out, right? Would you say, or am I wrong?
Clothing is not a really big item with us, and we kind of specialize that. If we come across somebody, and we'll go back and give it to them. Obviously, clothing not so much. We're really there to have that conversation.
But you do have your location is where people can
Oh yeah, we have an
drop
office.
off anything else, like say they just order it through Amazon themselves
You
and
know-
come deliver it.
Basically these days, I actually feel that, people, even though we say we could drop things off, to drive to a certain area and with gas and so on, you probably would save
Amazon's
more money.
better, yeah.
Amazon's so easy. You click a button and they're
Yep.
going to get it in general. So to put cans together, whatever. And I always think it's weird, like we're talking about canned foods. I just feel like there's items that you really need are on there. Like if you want to look at the different items that are on there, and if you
Yeah.
have those items, bring it. But you guys are very specific because like canned food is difficult, right? If you're on the street,
Listen,
people are cooking in general.
I think that's amazing. Definitely give them the best that they can get. Okay, but we're talking to, how many viewers do we have? There's a lot of people that don't really use Amazon.
No, it's a good point. Like I said, so where would be the location be if they wanted to drop stuff off?
It's
Tell us
at
about that.
2330 Highland Drive.
2330
Highland Drive.
Highland Drive. And what's the nearest intersection?
Sahara in the 15.
Sahara in the 15?
Yeah.
Okay. So people can drop off stuff. And then if you go to your website, that information's on there as well.
Yep.
Do you have a list of items on the website that says what you need as well, that other items, or is it just really the Amazon?
It's really just the Amazon.
Okay. So whatever, the bottom line is this: if you want to help, Shine a Light basically is looking for help in general. So whatever help that we need to get you guys, we want to support you guys and everything you do in general.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you want to share? Anything you do? Oh, what happens if people want to get involved? We're not doing this as a tourist attraction, but if you want to help out on a Saturday, explain how people can get involved.
They can reach out to us through our Facebook or Instagram. Just let them know. I answer those calls every day.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Shine a Light Foundation.
Shine a Light LV for both.
Shine a Light.
LV.
LV.com. If you want to get involved, you want to go on a Saturday. And I will say this, if you have, it's definitely physical. When I went out with George on the group, I was actually tired at the end of the day. We walked a lot. It was hot. We were in the tunnels. It definitely worked. So you definitely have to be, somewhat a little bit athletic to do that day because it is a lot. And also I think mentally as well. But you guys do an awesome, awesome job, and I really appreciate everything that you guys do. You're helping the community. You're reaching out to people in general, and we at the Problem Solver want to support you guys. We want to get other people involved. Anything we can do, please start keeping in touch with us in general. As the Problem Solvers show, every single week we bring great people on the show, just like George and Robert, from Shine a Light, that are helping people in different ways. We had a physical therapist, last week. We had a surgeon on. We have different people. We have law enforcement, like the HOPE program as well. And there's so many different programs out there. We're trying to get the word out there in general for people. So again, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Danny and Beja, any quick second thing that you want to share?
Just that you guys are heroes. Thank you for what you do. I'm a better person for meeting both of you.
Thank you.
Thank
Beja, anything
you.
else?
Just a round of applause.
Well, anyway, I really appreciate you guys joining the show today. Again, every Tuesday, 6 p.m., Channel 14 here. We are talking about solving problems. And then on Thursday at 4:30, we're live on the podcast, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify. Otherwise, be safe, help out, support Shine a Light, and we'll see you next week.